Hello all. Today we are going to discuss the topic that is carbon and its compounds. Hope you are all familiar with the element carbon, which is the basic unit of all lives existing on our planet. So, carbon is actually a unique element present in the whole universe. We know carbon is the giver of life. The daily materials that we use, like cosmetics, our toothpaste, all such things, even human body, plants, everything bears carbon in them. Now, let us see what are the unique properties of carbon. Hope everyone remember the element carbon and its symbol. We represent carbon by the symbol C. We represent carbon by the symbol C, and the atomic number of carbon is 6. Hence, we can write the electronic configuration of carbon as 2, 4. Hope you remember these things. We learned these things. We learned the electronic configuration as such in class 9, how to distribute the electrons in different shells of an atom. So the electronic configuration of carbon is 2,4. Electronic configuration actually means the distribution of electrons in different shells of an atom. Now, carbon has 4 electrons in its outermost shell, that is this is a K shell, this is the L shell of carbon. Now, in the L shell, that is the outermost shell of carbon, there are 4 electrons. Now, any atom tends to remain stable by completing 8 electrons in their outermost shell. We say it as the octet configuration. Any atom tends to complete 8 electrons in its outermost shell, which is known as the octet configuration. Now you can see carbon bears 4, therefore to complete octet, that means 8 electrons, it requires 4 more. It only shares 4 more electrons with other atoms. Any such atoms it can combine so that 4 electrons are being shared. Okay. Now, whenever atoms share electrons, we say there is a force of attraction between the atoms. The force of attraction is actually known as a bond. It is known as a bond. Force of attraction between atoms. Now, if it is formed by sharing of electrons, we call it as a covalent bond. In the previous chapter, you would have learned what is a covalent bond. The covalent bond is actually a bond, that is a force of attraction formed by sharing of electrons between two atoms. You may know there are 3 types of covalent bonds. One is single bond, then is a double bond, and the third one is a triple bond. If only a pair of electrons is shared between 2 atoms, it is a single covalent bond or a single bond. If 2 electron pairs are shared between 2 atoms, it is a double covalent bond, and if 3 pairs of electrons are shared between 2 atoms, it is a triple bond. Okay. Now, knowing these many things, let us now move on to the specific element, that means a unique element of the periodic table or the chemistry, that is carbon. So, as I have told you, carbon has 4 electrons in its outermost shell. It cannot lose or gain 4 more electrons, hence it only goes for sharing of electrons with other atoms. And normally what happens is carbon shares 4 electrons with carbon atoms also, and by sharing these 4 more electrons, carbon can form a very long chain of carbon atoms. One carbon combines with the next, again it combines with a third carbon atom. Likewise, millions of carbon atoms can be united or they can be bonded together to form a long chain compound. Okay. So, this specific property or unique property of carbon to form long chains or branched chains or even closed structures, the property is referred to as catenation. property is referred to as catenation. How to define catenation? Catenation is the property by which carbon combines with other carbon atoms to form long chains of carbon atoms. That means the particular chain may contain millions of carbon atoms. Okay, so this catenation property is specific or unique about carbon in forming long chains of carbon atoms which may bear millions of carbon atoms in number. The specific property is not exhibited by any other element of the periodic table because at a time 3 or 4 may combine but not more. But carbon has the tendency to form long carbon chains with millions of carbon atoms. This property is known by the name of catenation, that is very unique to carbon only. So now we have considered two very important properties of carbon. One is its tetravalency. Tetra means 4. Valency is with how many atoms does it combine or how many more electrons does it require so as to complete 8 electrons. Okay. So two specific unique properties of carbon are, one is tetravalency and the other one is catenation. Now let us move on to the very important topic of carbon and its compounds, that is hydrocarbons. From the name we know these are compounds of carbon containing only two elements. The name suggests hydro and carbon. They are compounds of carbon and hydrogen. These are compounds of carbon and hydrogen. So hydrocarbons can be defined as compounds of carbon and hydrogen. There are generally two types of hydrocarbons. One is saturated hydrocarbons and the other one is unsaturated hydrocarbons. Saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons. Now saturated hydrocarbons are those in which carbon has only single bonds between each atom. Carbon has only single bonds among any atom. Maybe carbon. Now to complete the valency of carbon, there are hydrogens to share electrons. So saturated hydrocarbons as such refers to those hydrocarbons that are formed with carbon atoms through single bonds only. That means that is formed as a result of sharing a single pair of electron between two atoms. Now these are also known by the name of alkanes. Saturated hydrocarbons are also known by the name of alkanes. Now coming to unsaturated hydrocarbons, there are two types. One is alkenes, the other one is alkynes. Now we have defined saturated hydrocarbons as those which contain only single bonds between carbon atoms. We have two other types of covalent bonds also, that is double bond as well as triple bond. If between carbon atoms there are double bonds or triple bonds, we call them as unsaturated hydrocarbons. They are also compounds containing carbon and hydrogen only, but between carbon atoms there may be double or triple bonds. Okay. So if they contain double bond between carbons, they are known as alkenes. And if they contain triple bond between carbons, they are referred to as alkynes. So as such, we can consider the division of hydrocarbons basically into two. One is saturated and the other one is unsaturated. But saturated hydrocarbons means those hydrocarbons containing only single bonds between carbon atoms. Unsaturated hydrocarbons are classified into two based on whether they contain double bonds between carbons, they are called alkenes, and if they have triple bond between the carbon atoms, they are called alkynes. Saturated hydrocarbons means those compounds or hydrocarbons are those containing only two elements, carbon and hydrogen. So if those hydrocarbons are such that between carbons there are only single bonds, we call them as alkanes. Another name of alkane is saturated hydrocarbons. Okay. Now the general formula of alkane is CnH2n plus 2, where value of n ranges from 1, 2, 3, etc. That is the number of carbon atoms present in the hydrocarbon. Okay. Now, consider for carbon, if n is equal to 1, if n is 1, we write the formula as C1 and H2 into 1 plus 2, which is C1, and H4, which is written as CH4, Now, putting n value as 2, similarly, if you substitute for n value as 2 in the above general formula, you can write C2H2 into 2 plus 2, that is C2H6. Likewise, we can proceed for N3, N4, N5, N6, etc. Now, how to name such alkanes? Now, naming of carbon compounds, we say it is organic compounds. Why organic? Because it is related to life, organisms related to life. So, the organic compounds are usually represented by using the IUPAC system, IUPAC stands for International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. I repeat, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry suggests names to hydrocarbons or organic compounds. Now, according to IUPAC system, any hydrocarbon or any carbon compound bearing only one carbon in its molecule starts with the name of METH, meth. This is applicable for any organic compound whichever has only one carbon in its molecule. Now, what are the ending words? We start with METH and we end up with the last three letters, that is ANE. Hence, we write the name of the very first and simplest saturated hydrocarbon CH4 as methane. METH is the general name given by IUPAC for any compound having only one carbon in its molecule, and the last three letters suggest that it is a saturated hydrocarbon. Saturated means only single bonds between carbon. This is a specific, this is as such having some difference because there is only one carbon. Okay. Now, coming to carbon 2, the general name assigned by IUPAC is ETH. Therefore, last three will be the same. We call that particular compound as ethane. Okay. So, the very first compound is being named as methane. Second compound having two carbon atoms in its molecule is termed as ethane. Now, the third one having three carbons in its molecule shall be named as prop. So, last three will be the same for all. It is propane if it is 3, butane if it is 4, etc. We give specific names to these compounds up to decane. Now, let us move on to unsaturated hydrocarbons. As we have discussed already, there are two types of unsaturated hydrocarbons. The first one is alkene. How to define an alkene? Alkene is the hydrocarbon containing double bond between carbon atoms. It has a double covalent bond between two carbon atoms. So, let us consider the general formula of alkene, that is CnH2n. For alkane, it was CnH2n plus 2. For alkene, it is CnH2n. Now, there is one difference between saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbon. As we know, methane has CH4 as the formula. Saturated, that means the very first compound. There is only one carbon present in its molecule. Is it? Now, as per the definition, a saturated hydrocarbon should have only single bonds between carbon. If you take between carbon, there should be at least two carbons. So, between any two carbons, there are only single bonds. In case of alkenes, there should be a double bond between two carbons. Hence, minimum number of carbon atoms should be 2. Therefore, we start N value from 2 only as we have to necessarily put one double bond between two carbons. We cannot write any compound of alkene starting with METH. Hence, the first compound of alkene will have only two carbons in its molecule. That is the simplest one. Okay. Now we can write the formula as C2H4. However, whatever number is represented for carbon, twice the number will be there for hydrogen. Now, for what name can we give for C2H4? As we know, according to IUPAC system, the first three letters or the first few letters for a compound having two carbon is ETH. Now the last three has to be taken from its name, hence we write it as ethene. For N3, we can write C3H6. We know we have to start with prop and the last three is En. Likewise for N4, it is butene. For N5, it is pentene, etc. Now, let us consider the structure of ethene. We have two carbons in its molecule, and between the two carbons there is a double bond. We know carbon is tetravalent. There are four valencies carbon has to satisfy. One bond actually refers to two electrons. Now carbon has completed 4 electrons with itself by sharing with other carbons. It requires 4 more electrons. Those are being satisfied by hydrogen. One line actually represents a valency for carbon. You can see surrounding a carbon there are 4 lines that shows 4 valencies. Carbon has 4 electrons. It shares 4 more electrons with other atoms. It shares 2 pairs of electrons with carbon and single electron with 2 hydrogens. Okay. Now coming to the next carbon also we have to complete 2 more valencies because 2 it has already completed. It has 2 more. Now here also we have to complete them by using hydrogen. Now as you count the total number of carbon, it will be 2. The total number of hydrogens in the molecule is 4. Similarly, if we write for propene, we have 3 carbons. Now, between 2 carbons there should be a double bond and all the remaining bonds are single bonds. Okay. All the remaining bonds are single bond. There is only one double bond between any 2 carbons. It is not necessary that we have to represent a double bond here. We may even represent here also. But any other bond other than one double bond should be single. Now, considering this carbon, 2 valencies are already satisfied. We have 2 more. Those are satisfied by hydrogens as it is a hydrocarbon. Now for the middle carbon, here it has shared 2 pairs of electrons with 2 valencies over. Here 1 valency is also over. Therefore requires only 1 more. Therefore it requires only 1 hydrogen. And the last carbon only 1 is satisfied. Therefore it has to satisfy 3 more. C3H6, that is propene. Propene has 3 carbons and 6 hydrogens. Coming to the third type of hydrocarbon, that is alkyne, that is the unsaturated hydrocarbon. Here as we know, between carbon there should be a triple bond. Okay. Now the general formula of alkyne is CnH2n minus 2. Okay. Now for unsaturated hydrocarbons, as we know, either double or triple bond should be present. The minimum number of carbon atoms present in the molecule should be 2. We don't have any such unsaturated hydrocarbon bearing only 1 carbon. As we have to put a double or a triple bond between 2 carbons, we start with n value 2. Therefore, substituting the value of 2 in the given formula, we have C2H2. 2 into 2, 4, minus 2 is C2H2, and names you can give. We start with any 2 carbons in the molecule starts with ETH, and the last 3 is the word that is derived from the unsaturated hydrocarbon. Therefore it is ethyne, ETHYNE. And for n equal to 3, we can write C3H, 2 into 3 minus 2, that is C3H4. We know name starts with prop. Last 3 words are those from the name of the unsaturated hydrocarbon. Therefore, it is propyne. Now, Moving on to the structure of ethyne, we have two carbons. Between two carbons there is a triple bond between them, and the valency of carbon being tetravalent, 3 valencies it has already satisfied. It requires only one more, that is satisfied by hydrogen. The second carbon also has 3 valencies completed. It also requires only one more. This is the structure. Coming to propyne, we have 3 carbons. Between any 2 carbon we have to specify a triple bond. All the other bonds are single bonds. Okay. The same happens with alkenes also. Only one of the bond remains as double or triple. All the others are single. Now how many more valencies it has to satisfy? Only one, because it has already satisfied 3. Consider the middle carbon. 1, 2, 3 as well as 4 all are being completed. And for the last carbon, we have only one valency being satisfied. We require 3 more. Hence this is the structure of propyne. So hope you have understood about hydrocarbons and the unique property of carbon. Please go through these topics again. Thank you. Wishing you a nice day.